listening to
Painkillers. This is Marquis.
And this is AD.
And this is your daily dose of getting rid of all your pain. We're going to
talk your pain away. That's what we came to do.
That's what we're going to do today, man. AD, what we going to be talking about today, bro?
Man, today, man, we're, because the whole concept of this is that we patients. We all patients. Like, we're all patients. We all got our own set of issues.
Yes,
right?
sir.
So, but I think the remedy to being healed is transparency.
Absolutely.
Honesty. And telling the doctor or those that probably could help us. Sometimes it's not even just the doctor, but those that can help us, man, like really what's going on. So today we're going to talk about our own personal issues.
That's it, patients, man. Y'all keep it locked in right here. We're going to be dealing with painkilling.
Painkiller.
If there's some medication I could take to make me wanna hate you and kill this ache. If there's some medication I could take, no I would do it. But they don't got a pill for this.
Man, we're super glad to have y'all here today in the Painkillers room. We're dealing with some amazing subjects, man. Today, we're really just going to be talking about ourselves, man, and why we decided to connect and do this podcast called Painkillers. All of us are patients, man. We're all going through something. We're all dealing with something. We've all overcome something. And, we really want to jump into our stories, man. AD and I connected years and years and years ago. And we're going to be real,
Wait,
man.
You say years and years. Like
years
we,
and years ago.
We 50. Like,
bruh, I be feeling like I'm 50 sometime,
man,
bro.
For real, legit.
Especially dealing with people.
Man, what? People will make you feel old real quick.
Facts. And so we've been connected for years, man. And the amazing part about our relationship is that it's evolved, man. It had its high moments, its low moments, its ups, its downs, all that. But the thing that's amazing is that we stay connected.
For sure.
And I'm excited, man, to do this podcast with him. Our lives are similar in context, but of course it's diverse in its own way.
Yeah.
And so today, man, we're going to just really kind of just talk to you guys about who we are, what brought us here, and what our goal is with this podcast, man.
Yeah, man. I think, like, for me, through the evolution of our brotherhood, man, it's been one of the things that I've had to personally deal with of the level of vulnerability.
Man.
Like, you know what I'm saying? So, like, telling, and I've just come to a place in my own life, man, where I just hit a pinnacle. Like, I'm going to be honest.
Facts.
You know what I'm saying? Like
Facts.
It's not about performing. It's not about looking a certain type of way. It's not about showing or modeling that I'm perfect.
Yeah.
But it's showing my true authentic self and being okay with that level of vulnerability and being vulnerable with brotherhoods and friendships. Because, man, whatever we model in friendships, that's what we're going to model throughout. You know what I'm saying? And everything. So even with our connection, our brotherhood, man, it was just hard, man. I realized that I had a hard time being vulnerable. So when, you're dealing with depression,
yes, sir,
or suicide,
yes, sir,
or just even things of, our coping mechanisms, the way we cope with pain, you know what I'm saying? And so I kind of get into mine, like my biggest thing that I was, that I've kind of become accustomed to with my coping is, like, if I'm in pain, it's the presence of a female companion.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? It's like
that hit.
Yeah, it is like, people want, like, some people go to drugs, some people go to alcohol, some people go to weed. Yeah. My thing was female companionship. And sometimes it's not even the act of sex.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's just having a female presence. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's just the presence of it. And the downfall of that is that, when you're leaning towards someone else, whatever it may be, as a coping mechanism to your pain, it automatically becomes unhealthy, regardless of how platonic you can say the relationship is. If I gotta always lean on you when I'm hurting, it's unhealthy.
Oh man, that's so good.
It's totally unhealthy.
It's like a dependency.
Bingo. Like that dependency where there are no boundaries that are set.
All right, you gotta stop right there for a minute, bro, because like I just got chills all over my body because we're talking about we're painkillers, right?
Yeah.
Most people try to numb their pain, like you said, various different ways.
For sure.
But the crazy part is once you find something that numbs your pain, you become codependent on it.
Bingo.
So for you, you're saying it was a female or their presence. It's like
Yep.
you become dependent on it.
Yep.
That's crazy.
Yep. And like you always go to it. And the challenging part is that you're not loyal to the person. You're loyal to the dependency. So it's like that person is interchangeable.
Bro, you like the old school snaps.
Yeah. Yeah. So it's like that person is interchangeable. Like, like, oh, you tripping? Oh, okay, cool. I jump over here and I kick it with this person.
Dang.
And throughout life, if you don't learn what and a lot of times people will make you feel bad for knowing what your vice is.
Yeah.
But I believe you knowing your vice is your strength.
Yeah, it's your upper hand.
Because if I know that, if I'm hurting, I'm gonna go to this, then it tells me, I don't need to do that.
Facts.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So you can shut it off, based upon your level of your own level of self-awareness.
Absolutely.
So man, that's like a big thing for me, bro. Like in my own self-discovery through counseling, through therapy, through session after session after session. And I've learned that even when you tell people that, the immature person automatically assume that, oh, you're having sex with all these people. No, it's not that. You're missing what I'm saying. You know what I'm saying?
And let's talk about that part, Feast. For your story, your context, like the external person's perspective being imposed on you, maybe driving you even deeper down that codependency or that dependency because of what they feel. Like, just because you are a good looking man and you're with a female doesn't mean you're having sex with them.
Dude, like, and I'm gonna tell you, it's nothing frustrates a person more than when they're doing the right thing, but you always accused of doing the wrong thing,
bro.
So it'd be like, okay, they already think that, so I might as well do it. I mean, I remember when I was pastoring, man, it was like, you can't even have long conversations with females. It's just like,
with them.
look at him, because it's amazing that in the Christian arena, we are, we say, don't judge, but we are the first to judge everything based upon our own level of maturity.
Absolutely.
Based upon what we see.
Absolutely.
If your mind is not mature, your eyes are going to see what your mind is capable of consuming.
Absolutely.
Like, so it's like, you could be having a mature conversation with somebody of the opposite sex.
Yeah.
And then somebody sees that and they perceive it the way they want to perceive it. So it's always the challenge of you not succumbing to what people assume.
Yeah.
Man, but it's hard because you be like, like, I might as well. Like, and the reality of it is, I probably could.
Yeah.
But I ain't pushing the envelope.
Yeah.
Like, I ain't even trying to go down that route. Like, I'm trying to do something different. But if you keep assuming that I am, I might as well.
And just because that's your problem, don't impose that on me.
Don't impose your problem on me, man. Like, bro, don't impose it on me.
Absolutely, bro. And I think it's amazing because what people don't realize is that their words, bro, do more damage than anything. Their perception does more damage than anything.
Bro.
And if we don't control that, and I think a lot of times, man, like, there's that old saying, misery loves company. And people sometimes want to make us as miserable as they are. Man, legit. When we're really just trying to cope and try to find a way to get through the seasons that we're in and what we're dealing with. Legit. You said something really key there. As a black man, you was like, I had to go through a road of discovery by way of counselors, all that. Like, as a black man, we don't talk about that. We don't talk about, having counselors or having a therapist or is something wrong with that. Like, these are key things that can really help us get an upper hand and get ahead of whatever it is we're dealing with.
Yeah, for sure. And the thing is, because people's perception of what counseling was or what a therapist was, like if you got a counselor, you crazy. Yeah. Not understanding that I've got a counselor, so I won't be crazy. You know what I'm saying? Like I got every opportunity to be a fool. Yes, sir. Like I legit do. Yes, sir. But I'm trying to keep that under composure so I don't act a fool. So man, it's just one of those things that like through time you begin to mature and just come to your own truth, man. Like now I'm just at a point where it's like, you can think whatever you want to think about me.
Bingo.
It don't even matter.
It doesn't matter.
It don't even matter. It says more about you than it does me.
Absolutely.
Like, but I recently come to that place. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's a place where I've been fighting for a long time. Yeah. To come to that peace. Yeah. Of that.
Yeah, it took me a while too, man.
Yeah.
Like for me, my context, man, was acceptance. Like that was my thing that I used to kill pain. Like, I felt like my root being rejection.
Yeah.
Like, acceptance was the thing that did it for me. You know, you like you said, you had the female companionship or presence. Some people got drugs, alcohol, all that kind of stuff. Mine was acceptance. Like, if I knew a person accepted me, that was my painkiller. That took me out of whatever my reality was. If I had, like, preaching for me, like, so both of us, y'all, are retired pastors. You know, we preach every now and then now, but we don't do it every single week. But for me, like, people loved my preaching more than they loved me.
Man.
Woo! And we got so many people that love our gift more than we love the freaking person that the gift is housed in.
Yeah.
And for so long, man, like, preaching was that painkiller for me because that was the thing that I felt accepted.
Yeah.
Like, I could be doing so much other things, but when I took the microphone and I delivered a message, I felt accepted. I felt loved. I felt like my overweightness didn't matter. My insecurities didn't matter. My what I thought was ugly in my head didn't matter. Like, I was that kid that felt accepted in that moment. And that can become dangerous. Like, I'm 19, 20 years old preaching to thousands of people. And I'm feeling, and I never had this type of acceptance. Like, I grew up as the overweight kid. No one wanted to date me. I didn't have no girlfriend until I turned 20.
Wow.
Like, so coming into this world and being able to take a microphone and say something and people go crazy.
Yeah. And now people look at you different.
What?
Because the anointing looks sexy.
Oh, man. Bro,
like you done seen some of the ugliest people. Like, they were sitting down there and then they get up there. Like,
you
wait,
like,
man.
hold up.
Wait, man.
I think I'm falling for them. Like,
oh
my God. The glory. And we just being honest though, man. Like, that was my painkiller. It was the acceptance, man.
So Boone, man, let me ask you this. Like, with that, when you realized that acceptance was your thing, right? Like, I just want to be accepted. How did you address that within your own being as a man to try to minimize? Because I don't necessarily think wanting to be accepted is wrong.
Right.
I think the intoxication of it
Yes, sir.
is.
Yes, sir.
So when, like, how was that process for you? Because I'm not gonna lie, I still deal with that. Like, doing what people want me to do, or if they need this, like jumping when they want me to jump.
Yeah. So I can be completely honest, man, because this is the painkiller room. You know what I'm saying? But I didn't really get over it or learn how to adjust to that until I was like in my late 20s. So when I really identified that, man, I was using this as a crutch, as a codependency was the acceptance. I was in my early 20s. But then you got to remember, man, like, my world shifted again. So from a middle school, high school kid, no attention, none of that. Then I turned 20 and I start preaching more, and I'm getting my exposure's growing, all that kind of stuff. Then 21, I find this new fame for business, and I become a millionaire and all that. And now it's like I'm getting all this attention, and mind you, I'm still overweight. So I'm still struggling in my head between, does this person really want me, or do they want what I have, or is it just a podium, or is it a platform? Like, so I'm struggling. All over.
Legit.
Then I transform my body, bro. So now I'm like super duper confused. Because I'm still seeing the old dude. Everybody else seeing the new dude. And so that's a whole nother dichotomy in my head. So then maybe around like 28, bro, I start taking time out for me. And I just started implementing, because I had never did this. I started implementing, like, quarterly vacations, going out of the country, exploring different cultures. And then when I started seeing a different world, I started seeing myself.
Wait a minute. Let me interject.
Let's
right
go.
there, because I want people to hear, and I want our patients to understand that when you taking these trips, you're going by yourself.
By myself, bro. By myself, like,
because
everybody.
We oftentimes wait for another patient to come alongside of us. Then we walk patient recovery out together,
bro.
Sometimes you got to go by yourself,
bro. And I did. I waited. I'm glad you brought that up, AD. Like, I waited. Like, I would ask people, like, yo, I want to go out of the country, I want to go on a trip, and everybody would be down, but like, yeah, I'm down, let's roll. And then it get closer and closer to the date. Then everybody starts saying, man, I ain't got the money, or bro, I ain't gonna be able to pull it this time, or hey, you paying for it? Like,
Yeah.
and then you get tired of always being that person that's always bringing the bag and dragging. Like, I don't want paid friends. I didn't want paid relationships. Like, it just kind of got, so I literally made my choice one time. I said, I'm not going to keep waiting for people. I'm going to go by myself.
Yeah.
Then it goes back to what you said and when your story, then people's perspective. They started thinking that I was traveling secretly with other people. So then I'll go out of the country for like 10 days, come back, and these little rumors around the church, oh, he was out there with another female, or he's traveling with somebody else, or we don't know what he's doing out there in the country. I'm like, I'm finding me.
Yeah.
I'm enjoying me. Like,
Yeah.
I've lived an entire public life for at least 15 years of my life, bro.
Bingo.
Right?
People don't understand
They
that.
don't understand
If they
that.
ain't never lived it, they ain't gonna
They're
understand
not going to get it, bro.
Yeah.
You know, like, the most exposure they got is social media.
Yeah.
Like, no, man, like, we've been in the limelight for so long that when I do go out of the country, I'm literally not trying to I'm trying to just learn me, have fun with me, discover me. So, yes, I was traveling by myself, bro, and it became a thing for me. It became my escape. It became my way to learn me, to discover me, and not what people said I was supposed to be. This preacher and this person and doing these type of legalistic things and following these rules. Like, I started to learn me.
Yeah.
And when I started to discover that my issue was acceptance, that I wanted people to like me because I never had it. I wanted people to validate me because I never had it.
Yeah.
And then when I started identifying where it came from, bro, when I was 12 years old, my mom told me that the guy who was raising me wasn't my biological father. Like, at 12 years old, in my head, my whole world changed.
Wow.
I'm like, dang, why isn't my real father in my life, right?
Yeah.
And I'm pretty sure this is a real normal conversation that every quote unquote man has gone through experience more often than likely, you know. So
for sure.
in my head, I'm just like, I'm struggling with that. So I believe that's where the root of rejection came from.
Yeah.
I felt rejected. My dad didn't want me. My mom didn't want to tell me the truth. You know, like, so it became very complicated. But at the same time, like, I had to value the guy who was raising me because in my head, he was my dad.
Yeah.
And for a man to accept another kid that's not his and raise him like his, you got to respect that man.
Yeah.
But at the same time, you got that internal struggle.
Yeah.
Because you're still like, well, where do I come from?
Yeah.
So I think that part is where my root of rejection came from. And then the point of me wanting to be accepted came from that, because a lot of people look at my life and say, man, you're doing this, you're doing this, you're doing that. But what people don't realize, and I'm going to share this today, AD, is I didn't get into ministry. I didn't get into business. I didn't get into none of these other ventures to be successful. I got into these ventures trying to get the attention of my father. So 16 years, when I got to high school, bro, I was like, I got to do something noteworthy that will get the acceptance from him and make him want to have a relationship with me.
Yeah.
So this is where my journey on, like, yo, I'm going to graduate early. I'm going to do high school in 2.5 years, because I know if I do high school in 2.5 years.
Dude, for one, I want everybody to know I mess with Boone all the time, because Boone graduated high school at 16. I graduated a year later. Not at 17. I'm talking about a year later than what I was supposed to. I graduated at 19.
But look at you now.
Look at me now.
Hey, you getting paper.
So you did that all for
the attention from him. I was trying to get him. Like, I wasn't trying to be smart or genius or all that. Like, I was like, if I could do something that is noteworthy, my dad would want to be in my life. Yeah. And then when I did that and it didn't happen, I went on to the next thing, which was business. Yeah. If I do something, it's going to get his attention. Yeah. Then it didn't get his attention. I wanted something else. Like, I don't know where this guy is. I don't know if he knows me, but in my head, I'm thinking, bro, if I do something, it's going to get his attention. And all these years, I was doing all this stuff. And even though thousands of people was like, oh my God, you preach today. Oh my God, you're amazing. Oh my God, this. The one person I was doing it for,
it wasn't enough.
I never got that.
It wasn't enough. It was not enough, man. Like that's you know. And now, like, looking at it and hearing what you're saying, like, I believe that we oftentimes we deal with the roots of the branches of the tree, but never deal with the roots.
Never deal with the roots, bro.
And
the roots is what feed the branches.
Exactly. So like I believe that you know like even in my situation, female companionship root. I mean branch. the root acceptance. Wanting to be loved, wanting to be, wanting to be accepted.
Yeah,
man, that's crazy.
And that we would connect, not even knowing that the similarities that were there. Because at the end of the day, when you first meet somebody, all you see is them.
Yep.
But I read in this book, bro, it literally blew my mind. It said that every person that you meet and connect to is nothing more than a mirror reflection of an aspect of you. And when I read that, bro, my entire mind, I started looking at every friendship, relationship. I started saying, dang, like my very first best friend, like real best friend, opposite sex. I had to realize that we met. The thing that joined us together was our rejection. Bro, like you said, we were two patients walking together, coping with each other, dealing with the same symptoms, and didn't even know how to give language to each other. So we're both rejected individuals trying to self-medicate with each other.
Ooh, that's dangerous.
It's dangerous, bro.
Like that whole concept of self-medication. Because what we're saying is, I think this may work.
There you go.
There
you go. We don't know, right?
We don't know. Let's try it.
Let's try it. And we take it. Hey, take a hit.
Yeah.
And we.
Yep. That's it. Like, and see what happens. See what happens with you, man. Dude, I was taking some notes, bro, because I got my phone out.
Me too, bro.
And man, I'm literally, man. Like so with this, like even in both of our situations,
we've identified that both of our situations came down to
root acceptance, right? The desire to be wanted.
Wow.
Like, and not just from people.
Yeah.
A certain person,
bro.
And when you talking about your father, it's the same way with me.
Yeah.
Like, my father, I knew who my father was. My father was in and out of my life. Then he disappeared for years and then came back. And, but all of the things that I did was I remember when I was trying to sell drugs.
Come on, man.
My father was a drug dealer. I was trying to, I was trying to sell drugs to, like, well, let me move in his lane.
Yeah.
Let me move in his lane and let me see if he can, like if he'll notice me then.
Yeah.
Type of situation. What would you say for the patients, man? Because we're gonna wrap this one up. But what would you say for the patients that are dealing with acceptance issues, right? And they're saying, man, I wanted this person. Like in my case, my father, your father wasn't around.
Yep.
My father now has transitioned, was killed in a car wreck. And now we still may be dealing with the residue of, but they can't fix it or they don't have the capabilities.
Absolutely.
How do we coach our patients?
Yeah.
And even ourselves as patients? How do we, or what can we give them to kind of ease or to deal with this acceptance piece?
I think for me, man, I can only talk from my perspective, then I'm gonna let you. But for me, it came down to stop trying to mask the symptoms. Every over-the-counter drug, bro, never addresses the real issue.
Yeah.
It only masks the symptoms.
Yeah.
Like if you got a sneeze, if you got a sore throat, if you got a cold, like it just covers the surface. It never gets down to the real thing. And I think for many of us, we've used over-the-counter stuff to mask the symptoms.
Yeah.
So what I would suggest is the same thing I did, man. I learned how to accept me. Bro, like I was trying to get everybody else to accept me and they were accepting me, but I still wasn't accepting me. Like people would say, oh man, I love you and I want to be with you. But I couldn't even accept that they wanted to be with me because I didn't want to be with me.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like that, it just didn't make any sense.
Yeah.
Like, so I'm going home like, yeah, they don't really love me because look how I look or look how I feel. Like, so I had to spend enough time with me and say, you know what? I finally love who you are, Marquis.
Yeah.
And that became my real turning point.
Yeah.
When I said, you know what? I finally love my teeth like everybody else loved my teeth.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because for a minute I didn't.
Yeah.
I always felt like something was wrong with it. Or I finally love my big cheeks. Because I used to hate them. Everybody used to like them. I'd be like, bro, I want to get rid of my cheeks. Like, how come I can't lose my cheeks?
Yeah.
But I had to accept me like, yo, these things are not going to change about me.
Mm-hmm.
So I have to do one or two things. I can either accept it
Yeah.
or I can keep walking around trying to mask the symptoms.
Yeah.
Pretend that I like it.
Yeah.
Act like I like it.
Yeah.
And then the parts of me that I did not like, I had to start finding ways to slowly adjust those things. Like, for example, like, and this, you know, some people say, well, that's really vain, Marquis. But for example, like me, like all the men on my mom's side start going bald
Mm-hmm.
in the same spot in the top of their head. I'm like 25, 26 years old going bald. I'm like, bro, I hate this, right?
Yeah.
And I tried everything, bro, like to try to mask what I didn't like.
Mm-hmm.
And then one day I woke up and said, you know what? I'm going to find something that I can tolerate, that I still like, that still does not go all the way to the other side of just going bald. And that was just like, yo, give me the lowest cut that still shows a little hair.
Yeah.
And then when I found that worked, I just kept getting that same haircut.
Yeah.
Now, I may not be able to do 15 different looks like everybody else can
Yeah.
that got hair, but guess what? I learned to like my little short haircut now.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I think I would say to all the patients out there, stop buying this over-the-counter medicine, bro.
Yeah, man.
Stop paying for the friends to go on trips with you. Stop paying for them to go to the movies with you. Stop paying for them to go to dinner with you.
Yeah.
Like, you know what? If they can't go and pay for themselves, take yourself to dinner. Take yourself to the movies. Take yourself on a trip. That's when you start learning how to accept yourself, when you do not accept yourself or you have an acceptance issue. And that's where it happened for me. Me going to Thailand, Bali, Dubai, Germany.
I can't wait to go. Sign me up.
Bro, I was on these trips killing pain.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
that came by way of me having to spend 18-hour flights by myself
Yeah.
and hotel rooms by myself, meeting new people in environments that nobody knew me.
Yeah.
And I had to meet me
Yeah.
and accept me. So what would
Yeah.
you say to the patients?
So guys, what you just heard, I'm about to give you my prescription. What you just heard was Marquis Boone's prescription.
That's my prescription.
And,
Go get it filled.
And now I'll just say, you know, I definitely echo and I co-sign that prescription that Marquis Boone just gave you. And now I add this that we, you know, like when you're dealing with this acceptance piece, or you're trying to be accepted, or you trying to be loved, or whatever the case is, I would say that it is your responsibility to do the emotional work. It's nobody else's. Like even in us writing these prescriptions, we're taking these pills too.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I'm saying? So it's like,
We have already taken these pills,
bingo.
bro.
We've already taken
Yes.
these pills, and we still take
We
them
still-
to make sure that we don't get sick again.
Exactly.
But I think what oftentimes what happens is that we project the work for our emotional stability on everybody else.
That's good.
To make us feel good, to
Yeah.
make us feel loved,
Mhm.
to make us feel whatever, and we will project it on everybody else it becomes their responsibility
Yeah.
for us to feel good about ourselves. It's nobody else's responsibility. Like nobody else should have the responsibility to make you happy.
Facts.
Like we can say whatever we want to.
Yeah.
We can pin it however we want to pin it. But the reality of it is, at the end of the day, we are responsible for how we feel.
Facts.
Nobody else. Like we put that responsibility on everybody else, and we be like, oh well, make us happy.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you love me?
Yeah.
Like, no, do you love you?
Facts.
Like, and that's we are responsible for our own emotions.
Can I say preach AD?
You can't say that no more. But no, like legit, man. Like I think that we make people pay for our lack of emotional work that we don't want to do.
Yes, sir. That is so rich, man.
It's not.
Yeah.
It's my job to make myself happy.
Yeah.
It's my job to discover my peace.
Yep.
It's my job to make sure I'm emotionally whole
Yeah.
and healthy and healed. It's nobody else's job.
Nobody else's.
Nobody. And people that make you feel bad that you
Oh yeah.
are taking responsibility for your own
Oh, yeah.
happiness. No, I'm good on that.
It rests in your hand, man. Y'all heard it right there.
There it is.
Officially now,
That's the prescription.
this is Dr. AD. He just wrote y'all a prescription, and you better go get it filled. You got to take it.
You got to take it now.
But that's so rich, man.
You got to take it. And like that's the step forward. You got to
Yeah.
take it.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Patients, y'all done got 2 prescriptions today, man. To
That's
all
it.
of our listeners, man, who've been hearing about this place of acceptance, man. If you've been dealing with that root, you've been dealing with that issue, man, we hope today we were able to kill some of that pain today.
For sure.
By talking it away. Now, don't just get off of this podcast and just not do the work. Like, you got your prescriptions in your hand. Go do the work. Whatever it is that you heard today that you got to use it. Take it. You know, some of these prescriptions that our doctors give us, they tell us take it twice a day.
That's it.
You know, take it with food,
That's
you know.
it.
And then they'll say something like, you know, hey, this one may cause blurriness, so don't drive or operate a car. So if you know that this prescription is for you, we might have to tell you, hey, this means you may not be able to have a boyfriend or girlfriend for the next 6 months.
You hear me?
Because you working on you.
That's it. You got to do the work.
You got to do the work.
That's it.
Man, this has been Marquis.
This has been AD.
Hey, we're the Painkillers, and we're
sure.
super, super happy that you chosen to spend the last few moments with us, man. Until next time.
We're going to talk the pain away.
We're going to talk your pain away, man. Holla.
See you later.
Don't forget, you can join us every Monday night on Medication Mondays on Clubhouse at 9 p.m. It's an extended conversation from the Painkillers podcast. Clubhouse, Monday nights at 9 p.m. Medication Mondays.